UVB-76, also known as the buzzer, is one of the strangest and most enduring mysteries of modern espionage. Since the 1970s, this Russian shortwave station has broadcast a steady, mechanical buzzing tone. The signal has no official source, no stated purpose, and no explanation. Most of the time, it's a dull, monotone buzz that repeats several times per minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't play music. It doesn't tell the weather. It just buzzes. But every so often, seemingly at random, the buzzing stops. And a human voice, speaking in Russian, takes over. These interruptions have included strings of numbers, surnames, and coded phrases that defy easy explanation. And every time it happens, it sends the shortwave radio community and conspiracy forums into a frenzy. Welcome to Parallel, a mix of storytelling and thought-provoking what-if scenarios, combining narrative fiction and analysis that includes real-world science, philosophy, and potential real-world implications. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that you do not miss out on the next episode. Because, one reality, says T-Boom, is never enough.
I've spent most of my life listening to radios people forgot existed, old frequencies, abandoned military channels, ghost signals. But there's one that's never stopped. UVB-76, the buzzer. I've tuned into it every night since 2009. It never changes, just this dull looping buzz, like it's counting the seconds, waiting, and then a break in the noise. A voice, calm, deliberate.
Neptune Thymus Foxcloak Nootabu.
4 words, never heard before, not in 40 years of transmissions, and if you knew what I knew about the buzzer, you'd be scared too.
Let's look back at some of UVB-76's most infamous transmissions. In 2001, it was this one, UVB-76, 18008. Roman, 04379, Boris, Roman, Olga, Mikhail, Anna, Nikolai. 2010 was the year activity increased dramatically. A voice said, 4979 DRENDOUT, followed by a long list of names and numbers. In August 2010, a message included the Russian word oblin, which has no known meaning. In November 2010, background noise in the transmission included clanging sounds and what some claimed was a crying woman. Some even believe you could hear someone walking across a room, as though the mic had accidentally been left open. These odd, often unnerving moments have only deepened the mystery, especially in 2010, when the station relocated from its original transmitter in Povorovo to a military site near St. Petersburg, and activity suddenly spiked. And now, in 2025, we have this.
Neptune Foxcloak Nootabu.
But what do those words mean? Let's try to break them down. None of the words match prior known transmissions. None of them are typical Russian military phonetic code words. So, what could they be? Neptune. This could reference the Roman god of the sea, maybe naval operations, the planet Neptune, maybe deep space or long-range communications, or Project Neptune, which is a NATO military term used during the Cold War, sometimes applied to surveillance operations. Thymus. This is a biological gland tied to the human immune system. It could symbolize defense activation, or it might represent internal protection protocols, not physical, but digital or procedural. Foxcloak. This clearly sounds like a code name of some sort. The fox might relate to deception or cleverness. The cloak could be invisibility or stealth. It is possibly a designation for a covert agent or cloaked surveillance satellite. Nootabu. This is the enigma with no clear linguistic origin. It might be a constructed code word Or it could be an acronym, for example, NO, Tactical Autonomous Broadcast Unit. Or maybe it's something older, an archaic name, an obscure dialect, or even a mispronunciation intentionally inserted. Put together, the four words may act as activation keys, stage names in an operation, signal markers for embedded agents, or, chillingly, a coded nuclear failsafe. UVB-76 isn't the only ghost in the static. Here are some of its cousins. The Lincolnshire Poacher in the UK, broadcast from Cyprus. It played the Lincolnshire Poacher folk tune, followed by number sequences read by a woman. Believed to be operated by MI6 until it ceased around 2008. Cherry Ripe in Australia broadcast a melody of the same name followed by number codes.
13203.
Likely operated by Australian intelligence, E-10 from Israel, nicknamed the Mossad Station. Male and female voices reciting phonetic letters in multiple languages. V07 from Cuba. This station transmitted numbers in Spanish
5, 7, 8, 0.
and was suspected to be run by Cuban intelligence. These stations aren't just weird, they're real. The CIA has admitted that number stations were used to communicate with agents abroad. Unlike encrypted email, shortwave radio is nearly untraceable and works in any condition. And that's what makes UVB-76's persistence so unnerving. Other stations retired after the Cold War, but the buzzer, it never stopped. It just got stranger. Let's try and break down what some people think UVB-76 really is. Maybe it's a dead man's switch. If high-ranking Russian officials are incapacitated or Moscow is attacked, UVB-76 might send a final coded message to launch retaliation, like a nuclear second strike. These four new words might be a trigger phrase. It could also be communications for deep ops. Some believe the buzzer still sends encrypted messages to sleeper agents, buried long ago in foreign countries. These code words could activate them. It might just be testing systems integrity. It might be a diagnostic ping, an analog check to keep remote systems aligned. The buzz ensures no interference. Interruptions are scripted system commands. It may also be some form of psychological warfare. Some believe it's all a psyop. A Cold War artifact kept alive to create confusion, spark conspiracy theories, and keep listeners paranoid. Of course, we must not forget that it might have some occult or esoteric meaning. Some fringe theories connect the four words to ancient rituals, planetary alignments, or secret societies embedded in military operations. It may sound absurd, but with UVB-76, no theory is too far-fetched. In a world obsessed with visibility, smartphones, live streams, satellites, we're haunted by something that remains hidden in plain signal. The buzzer doesn't ask for attention. It just exists. It persists. And maybe that's what makes it terrifying. Because if we're not meant to understand it, then someone else is. So what do Neptune, Thymus, Foxcloak, and Nootabu mean? A call to action? A sequence of events? Or just static noise, cleverly disguised as meaning? Even whilst recording this segment, it kept missing out words on the final recording. I left one of those missing words in an earlier segment. Did you catch it? Whatever the answer is, someone out there is listening, and maybe now, after all these years, the message has finally been received. The real question is, what happens next? Thank you so much for listening in to this episode of Parallel. If you have an idea for a future episode, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow its audience. Until the next episode, remember, one reality is never enough.